I'm kicking off a new multi-part series on transparency in the tequila industry, right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're kicking off a brand new multi-part series on transparency in the tequila industry. Now see, I'm not affiliated with any brands whatsoever. I'm not affiliated with any influencer groups. I don't get paid by anybody to do my content or anything. I make my money from you guys watching the videos here on YouTube and from my subscribers and from my subscribers for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. I don't make any money from any brands, no kickbacks, no incentives, nothing. So here you're going to get honest, unbiased information on this transparency issue here in the tequila industry. So if you like your information to be unbiased and honest and not paid for, you've come to the right place. Make sure you click the subscribe button there and the notification bell next to it so you get notified anytime I post my honest, unbiased reviews. But also, if you want to support what I do and support getting honest and unbiased information, then you feel free to join the membership here on YouTube and become a member of the channel, which supports what I do, or you can join the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. Both memberships get different perks, but also go to help support what I do so I can provide you this content unbiased and honest, just the way you deserve to get it. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the topic of transparency in the tequila industry. Now, back when I got into the tequila world and in experiencing tequila for the first time, where I got deep into it, we're looking at good quality tequilas, not just drinking it to get drunk type of things like I did in college. That was back in about 2015, so it's been about 10 years. And when I first got into tequila and drinking good quality tequila, we didn't have any of this calls for transparency. You basically knew whether tequila was good or not by the taste and whether it matched your flavor profile. But there's some general misconceptions about tequila out there that I want to address first in this first episode to give you some insight into what is actually happening in the tequila world. And one of the reasons for the calls of transparency in the tequila industry is people believe that they're being deceived, and it's because of a misconception. That misconception has to do with the term 100% de agave on the bottle. People have this misconception that because the bottle says 100% de agave on the bottle, that there's nothing else in the bottle. That is an incorrect misconception. The term 100% de agave refers to the fermentables that were used to make the tequila. Now, by fermentables, I mean the sugars that were used to convert the sugars to alcohol to create the alcohol for tequila. So in order for a tequila to be called 100% de agave, the fermentables have to be 100% Weber Blue agave sugars that were used, that were converted from sugars to alcohol when making the tequila. Now, to show an example of this, or show an example why this is indeed the case, because I'm sure people are going, well, that's not correct. That is correct. To show you, here's a flavored tequila, which is great for making cocktails. This is from Espanita. They make a couple of flavored tequilas, but if you look at the bottom of the bottle, it says 100% de agave tequila blanco. So they used 100% Weber Blue agave fermentables in making this, and yet it is a grapefruit flavored tequila. You can find other flavored tequilas that use 100% agave fermentables in them as well. So this doesn't represent what's in the bottle. It represents what was used in making the tequila. There was no other sugars used. Now, the reason why they did this is there's other levels of tequila as well. In order for it to be called 100% de agave, it has to only be Weber Blue agave fermentables. If you call it just tequila, you can actually use cane sugar. You can use piloncillo, which is a Mexican sugar. You can use other fermentables, but it has to be at least 51% Weber Blue Agave in order to call it just tequila without the 100% de agave on the bottle. Now, in the world of tequila, there is a set of guidelines of laws that producers must follow in order to be able to call their spirit tequila. Those laws are known as the NORMA. Now, within the NORMA regulations, since 1994, the NORMA regulations have allowed producers to use what are called additives in order to enhance the flavor profiles of their tequilas. This is nothing new. This is something that's been allowed. And what it does is it allows for producers that don't want to have inconsistencies in their batches to produce a more consistent tequila flavor profile. In future episodes, I'm going to go over the different additives that are allowed to be used and give you some inside information about these additives and whether they're bad for you and what benefits they have for the tequila and so on. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those future episodes here in this part of this series. Today, we're not going to go over all the different additives, but we're going to go over some general rules and general things about the whole additive tequila initiative. So since 1994, a lot of these additives have been able to be used in tequila without putting it on the bottle. And in 1997, they changed the rules even more, and we'll go over that in the next episode. But what basically happened is there was a movement to create a boogeyman, and additives became the boogeyman. Even though people have been consuming them and drinking tequila with them for years before this particular movement happened. Now, when this movement happened, I got caught up in it too. I was like, how dare these people deceive us by doing these deceptive measures when making tequila? And then when I started traveling more frequently to tequila and talking to the producers, I would ask them about their feelings about additives. And they would break down honestly what their thoughts were, even the producers that didn't use them. And then after talking to more and more producers, I go to Mexico 2 to 3 times a year and spend a couple weeks down there talking and hanging out with producers. A lot of them really well-respected producers that we love because they produce really good quality, high-grade tequila. I got a little insight from them and from other people in the industry about their true feelings on additives. This had me really looking into whether this movement was something that really needed to happen. And so the information I've gathered over my many trips to Mexico talking to the producers is the information I'm going to provide to you in this series. This movement is called the additive-free movement. What basically happened is an organization that is not certified to create any kind of class of tequila or any certification in the tequila world created the additive-free classification. And then people were then informed that if they weren't buying tequila that were fit under the additive-free classification, that they risked buying tequila with additives in it. And after a couple of years of trying to certify tequila as being additive-free, the CRT decided the term is deceptive to the consumers. And I'll explain to you why. The term additive-free is a general term which a consumer can pretty much assume that nothing has been added to tequila at all. Additive-free, right? So an additive-free tequila, for example, would be a Blanco. There's absolutely nothing added to this. It is tequila in its purest form, right out of the still. But they were also labeling aged tequilas as additive-free as well. So with aged tequilas, you're taking a pure tequila and putting it into a wooden barrel. Now the barrel can either be brand new oak, it could be a previously used bourbon barrel or cognac barrel or wine barrel or other spirit barrel. And by doing that, you're actually adding stuff to the tequila. Well, you're adding color, it'll turn it brown. You're adding vanillin from the wood, as well as other compounds from the wood to change the flavor profile. As well, if there's bourbon that was in the barrel or wine or anything else like that, that's getting into the tequila as well. So there's actually additives in all the aged tequilas that may not have been put in there, measured out and put and altered by a lab, but it was definitely entered and put into the tequila by putting the tequila in a barrel. So the term additive-free is deceptive to the consumer because they'll drink this thinking there's no additives, where indeed, based on the term additive-free, it's not correct. There is additives in here because it comes from the wood. It comes from the barrel. So the CRT, the organization that's responsible for regulating tequila and protecting the classification of tequila, had basically said that the term additive-free is deceptive to the consumer, and that anything that is put on the label has to be verifiable. So instead of changing and thinking of and working with the CRT on creating something else that could inform the consumer, they went to war with the CRT. Now, as anybody that is a Mexican citizen can tell you, anytime anybody goes to war with somebody affiliated with the Mexican government, it usually never turns out good for the other person. All right, if you like the information I shared in this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a like. If you're new to the channel and you like unbiased, honest information that comes directly from the producers, you've come to the right place. Make sure you click the subscribe button right here and the notification bell next to it so you get notified on my future episodes coming up, where we're going to take a deeper dive into the world of additives. We're going to talk about their makeups. We'll talk about whether it affects your health. And we're going to talk about a bunch of different things to make you a more informed consumer. Information is our power. And this way you'll know when you're shopping for tequila, whether you're buying something that you're going to like or not. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So keep watching these episodes, keep learning, and you'll be on your way to drinking better tequila every day. Salute. Bye, guys.